Okay, back online for another stream. Okay, back on. Whoa, every week it gets me. I am back for a bonus episode of my indie game showcase, because this week I got so many games sent to me by developers. It's overflowed into overflowed out of my normal coverage. So I guess first world problems. I have a bunch of games, and this time it's a bunch of very obscure games that I wanted to showcase. It was a good patch of games that are really I guess underrated is not really the best word, but underground developers that have very small but very focused games that I've really been enjoying. Some of the games tonight will definitely skirt the limits of of people's sensibilities. So some of them you may not like, but that's why I picked the Monday showcase. Generally. This is where I play the more obscure games, the games that people haven't heard of. And tonight we've got some really good ones, starting off with Vampire Hunter Nightrise. Now, I got sent this game about a couple of weeks ago, and I started playing it thinking it was just going to be a standard vampire action game, and I had so much fun with it that this game is way more engaging and innovative than what I originally thought. I came for a very basic boomer shooter vampire themed game, and what I actually got was a quasi RPG with some survival mechanics, and I'm here for it. It's actually a really good game. Now, I actually got about halfway through the campaign. It's not a long game. I got smoked, so I am going to have to start again, but at least starting again, I have all the knowledge of my first few runs. So yeah, big thank you to the developer. A lot of these smaller devs are still sending me games, and if you are a smaller developer, I will always try and showcase every game I get sent. Sometimes it's impossible, and that's just because since I've hit affiliate, I've been getting so many emails from developers, but I make every effort to try and cover every game I get. So let's jump in, and I'm going to show you this fantastic game. It's a banger. Europe 1600, humanity endures a dark age. Vampires and demons are real, so is God. Strength flows through faith. You were given little, you often felt abandoned. Faith did not come easy. Still, the church called for you. Your first assignment: kill a vampire, free the souls he has trapped. You remind yourself. Walk the narrow path.
You sure you know what you're doing? You know, no hunter has ever made it back alive. Not one. You really want to do this?
My faith will hold. For the Emperor.
Funny thing about faith, it's always strongest right before it's tested. Still, your timing's good. It'll be daybreak soon. That gives you all day. He'll be asleep, or pretending to be. So tell me, if your prayers go unanswered, what will you do?
I won't lose my way.
Everyone thinks they won't. This is no mere vampire, you know. He's... I guess you'll find out soon enough. Here we are.
Now, a little detail you may notice, have a look at our ferryman's face. If he's not a vampire or a demon, I'd be very surprised. I don't know why we're not starting our staking spree with this dude, but apparently he's on our side.
Luck.
Apparently. I've arrived. All it took was a short boat trip. It's amazing how close evil lives to human civilization. I suppose that's how it preys on us. If something was wrong with the oarsman, I felt it more than saw it, a wrongness I couldn't name. I let him talk, best not to provoke whatever he was. When the evil in this castle is slain, many innocent souls will be freed from the madness of his clutches, perhaps even his. Surely this is the will of the Lord. Well, as my good friends in Texas say, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Because even though we're a man of God, it appears that we have a liking for more mundane methods of combat. And we have this very dope stake launcher, which we're absolutely going to be putting to the test as we fight the denizens of this castle. So we are going to try and sneak up on this bad boy, because I'm going to try and hang on to my ammo. And boomski. Hey, like that, son? How's that taste? Get that in you. Now, ammo is very, very scarce in this game. And the reason why I died the first time was because I actually used up all my stakes. There's a bunch of different ways you can combat enemies. You don't just have to rely on the stake launcher. And often the stake launcher is your best bet is a last resort. So we're going to try and go around this guy. Maybe? No? Okay. What I can do is use my cross. We can consume faith to use the cross. And what that does is it will stun enemies in place, but it does consume some of our faith. So faith is like your mana. It respawns or regenerates over time, and you use it to perform a number of different spells and acts of faith. But generally, just think of it as your all-purpose mana. We can get some more stake ammo by doing this. Break up some of these objects. Because, I mean, stakes, of course, they're just a sharpened piece of wood, so... Now, this is a leveling system that's really cool. As you go through the castle, you'll find these upside-down crosses that you can write, and then once you align the cross correctly, you'll get the opportunity to use some of the souls. It's kind of weird. We're a priest, but we're actually stealing people's souls. Well, maybe we're liberating them, but he's not even seeing me. What's up, homie? Oh, now you see me. Now you see me. Too late, son. Get wrecked. And this is just telling us how to kill enemies, how to use the rebuke skill. How you like that? You started the game, most of the enemies are pretty easy to take out, so I was shooting everything with the stake launcher. That is definitely not something you want to be doing. Try and hang on to your stakes where you can. Another really cool thing is that you can actually light your stakes on fire. You walk up to any open flame and leave your stake over the open flame. Oh, that's gonna... could be a problem. Ooh! 3 in a row, baby! How you like that, son? I don't even need a gun at this point. Just give me a cross and my character's gigantic nuts of steel. Now, one of the really cool things in this game is the faith mechanic. And you'll see it will fluctuate as you go through the game. When you see something particularly unnerving, it will test your faith and it will drop your maximum faith. But let's keep going, shall we? I might just adjust the sound a bit. It's a bit on the loud side. Let's drop it down a little bit. Forgive me, Father. I saw what he did to the last hunter, and something in me gave way. My faith faltered. It seemed to me that he was no different from me. He came here with the same purpose, and he seemed so abandoned. It was an odd feeling. It came out of nowhere, and now it's gone. I knew this place would test me, but here I am collapsing almost immediately. Strange, I'm stronger than this. Just nerves. I will rekindle my faith. Now you can go one of two routes in this game. It's not an incredibly long game. I watched one of the YouTubers who did a review on this game said you could finish it in a bit over 2 hours if you know what you're doing. But there is two routes in the game, so you can go the good route where where you do everything right, you hang on to your faith, and you make moral decisions, or you can go the evil route where you let your faith decline and you start to use some of the dark gifts that you can find through the castle. So here's an evil spirit that we can cleanse. That's what I like to see, son. There's tons of secrets in this game. In fact, the only thing that I think this game is missing is a bigger selection of weapons. It's not a long game, but I kind of was getting sick of using the stake launcher by the end. I was hoping we might have some additional weapons to use, but in this entire game, at least in everything I've seen, there's only the one gun. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I mean, I came in with very low expectations on this game. I saw the trailer and I was like, I mean, it does look like a lower budget game, and I'm not saying that to disparage it. It's just it is what it is. Um, but what I didn't expect to see was the amount of care and attention. The developer obviously has a very large amount of love for the game, and they put a lot of effort into it, especially the characters, the narrative, and the overall vibe. A guest book sits on the desk, the kind you might sign at a wedding or a wake. A pen rests beside it. Decades of hunters' names in their own hands. Beside each, in a second hand and a second ink, died, maimed, taken, tortured, vanished. One near the front, released, and the last signature is fresh. The line below it is blank. So I don't know if I can I don't think I can add my name to the ledger, but... Okay, door's locked. Let's continue on. We can deposit some more souls, and if we get enough, we can get a level up. So we're just shy of one. Get out of here. What's up, homie? Hey, mongrel. He was up on the table and I couldn't get the reach I needed to take him out. Take that. Nice. Okay. So once you've got enough souls sacrificed or liberated, you can select a new ability. And I am thinking these are all really good. But this one is definitely the best ability. This means that I don't need to worry about stakes firing in an arc. They will fire in a straight line indefinitely. Very nice. Puncturing would be nice, but I think this is definitely the better of the upgrade. So now I can fire a stake in a straight line. Okay, and we've got our map updated. We got our first enemy. Hey, like that, son? Didn't even need a gun. Get wrecked. Let's go, baby. Oh, we got some bells. And our first secret in the game. These bad boys are cursed toys. We can smash those. Release the souls. And what a shame we can't break the pews up. Alright, we're kind of becoming a expert at killing these mages. I'm gonna need to... Here we go. Oh, you mongrel. Ooh. Okay, we're pretty badly hurt. It's maybe... Yeah, boy. Wasting any ammo. Ooh. Now here we can find other hunters that have succumbed. This place is an abomination, but not in the way I expected. It's not chaos, it's imitation. Everything here mirrors something sacred, but only just enough to hold its shape. The rest is wrong, bent towards something else. It makes me wonder if that is all a lie is. Not something new, but something built on what's already true. That's chilling, though. Could divine power in some way drive this place? Surely not. Oh, there's a bell there. You always want to try and keep an eye on stuff because you can find these really cool rooms, and some of them have huge bonuses. A book of rites rests next to the doll. You read the first line silently. By the third line, the voice in your head has changed, deeper. It does not pause where you would. The words describe a vessel, what it's to be called into, and from where. You were most of the way through before you stop. This game has some top-notch graphic design. Now, in order to get the good ending, we do need to get all of the trapped souls. I wasn't able to get all of them last time. But the game does have a hub-like system, so you don't need to go to the end boss until you're ready. Uh-oh. Another crisis of faith. Okay, you can see our maximum faith is really starting to dwindle. And if that faith goes down to 0, we're going to be in some trouble. Because then we're going to be one of the things that infest this church. So our goal is to try and stay human, stay sane, and obviously keep our faith. Which is kind of hard when there's gigantic burning upside down crosses. This looks like something that wouldn't be out of place in a Warhammer game. This is the Architect's Journal. I accepted the commission today. I told myself it was practical. The pay is more than I could ever offer, and I have responsibilities that do not wait for ideal circumstances. Still, I would be lying if I said the decision sat cleanly. The estate is remote, and those who spoke of it did so in lowered voices, as if the place had already decided something about them. I noticed, even as I signed the agreement, a quiet resistance in myself, a sense that I was stepping into something I did not understand. I dismissed it. Men like me do not have the luxury of indulging vague comfort. If I'm honest, there was more than necessity at play. I've watched others advance while my own work goes unnoticed. Lesser men with fewer scruples seem to find doors open to them without much effort. I've done the things the right way, and it's earned me little. Perhaps this is simply how the world works. Perhaps I have been a fool to expect otherwise. So I will take the work, I will do it well. Whatever this place is, it's still stone and timber, and those that obey the same rules as any other. I will keep my head down, finish what I'm paid to do, and leave. I don't know, mate. If you're an architect and you're being asked to have upside down crosses and goats' heads, it's probably time to start asking questions, or more importantly, time to maybe get the hell out of there. Ah, there we go. I can see what keys we need to press. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. So we now have a teleportation mirror, and these are basically just like in Castlevania. If you've seen the Castlevania series, you can teleport around the castle using these mirrors. Somewhere there is a secret we've missed. I'm just having a look. What have I missed? No idea. Bell. Perhaps out here, perhaps on the upper floor. Let's go upstairs, shall we? Nice, an increase in faith, something we desperately need because it's dwindling very quickly. Okay, killing an enemy briefly increases your movement speed. That's not too bad. Environmental impacts create distracting noise. Meh. And silent feet. Footsteps are significantly quieter. I think this one's probably going to be our best one because that means we might be able to get some stealth kills. I mean, this is kind of nice, but honestly, we're mainly killing enemies in small groups, so I can't imagine this is going to be handy unless we're in an arena environment. So I'm going to go with silent feet. There we go. Could use the health. Thanks, homie. Oh, I'm out of faith. There we go. I've nearly maxed my health up. Let's go, baby.
Jesus Christ, walk with me through this darkness.
So I can increase my faith by praying. And I can probably light these sconces here, so you can light stuff by going up to any fire source. And here you go. 1 and 2. And lo and behold, another secret. I love the way secrets work in this game. It's really cool. Ooh. A new ability as well. Stakes can damage spectral enemies, increase maximum health. Stake can ricochet randomly. I found that there's a few spectral enemies in the game, and this means you can hit them with stakes, but honestly, randomly ricochet, I haven't found that useful. Greater health though does sound useful. But most of the time, I've never found my health being a problem, so I'm going to go with spectral stakes. No, we'll go maximum health. I'm going to be honest, spectral enemies are not a very big quantity in the game, and you can kill them using using fiery stakes, and there's a bunch of different attacks you can use that'll kill specters. They're easy enough to kill, they're not a really big challenge. Not enough to warrant me wasting a skill point. I've decided to keep a record, not for confession, but for clarity. There'll come a time when I have done what I've done is no longer feared, but understood. And when that time comes, there will be those who wish to know how it was achieved. I will not leave the account to lesser minds. They will call it cruelty, excess, madness, because they lack the perspective to see it necessary. I've seen how easily life is reduced when it's judged by those who are never capable of living it. What appears unjustifiable is often only incomplete. When viewed properly, it becomes something else entirely, something inevitable. So I'll set things down where they remain, precise. When the time comes, even those who shirk from it will see that I was right. Oh, we've gone full circle. We were back here earlier. So this was previously locked. And we can head up here. Bust open. No, we can't bust open that door. Another secret. Man, these dolls are creepy. I can't teabag them though, so you're going to have to settle for a stake in the dome. Not too bad, not too bad. That's another one in the pipe. I was not always as I am now. There was a time when I was regarded as a man of discipline and faith. I held office, served the public, and was spoken of with respect. I've not only seen as capable, but as pious, and I took pride in that. It seemed no small part of how I was trusted, and how I rose. It's easy for men to admire virtue when it costs them nothing. My household was in order, my reputation intact. I believed with diligence and devotion would be met in kind, and there was a structure to things that could be relied upon. When my child felt ill, I did what any man of conviction would do. I prayed. I sought divine counsel. I asked others to join me in believing sincerity would be answered. I see now I mistook silence for patience and absence for wisdom. So starting to paint a bit of a picture of the vampire, and I really like that this game is dripping with atmosphere. There's a lot of atmosphere in this game. Homie, I've been killing you all day. You got nothing on me, son. Let's keep going. Now you can see my faith is starting to get up there. Yeah, faith it's a big problem in this game. Trying to keep enough faith to keep yourself in the green, and it's very easy to get tempted into using the vampire skills. You can actually get some undead, some nefarious abilities. That's what you get, homie. I don't need any ammo. A heavy book sits on a pew. Each entry is a single line, a sin with a name, a nearby town and a date. The latest entries are from today. At the bottom of the page, fresh ink is drying. The hand that wrote it is nowhere to be seen. So I'm getting the feeling this is no ordinary vampire. I mean, vampires are evil and all, but generally don't go for the whole gigantic burning cross, demonic presence sort of deal. I think there's something... Well, I know there's something more nefarious at work here, and we're soon about to meet it. So we're on the upper area of the church. Another hunter. I asked God for a way through and got nothing back, so I found my own. There's 2 bells in the rafters. I put a stake through one and the other, and I kept them both ringing at once. The wall opened, a way forward hidden until I made the noise myself. And I know how this goes. The faithful would call it an answered prayer, but I was the one holding the launcher. God didn't open that wall, I did. Well, he might have helped you. 6 out of 10. Not too bad, not too bad at all. So, what this tells us is that there is some bells here somewhere. Where you at, homie? No bells in the roof. No bells down there. Again, the game does have some Metroidvania-like progression, and it works really well for this game. Mainly because everything's really well designed and it's very compact, and you can get your way through the levels pretty quickly once you work out where everything sits. Here we have our first major choice. A large cross stands before you, upright and radiant. After the blasphemy of this place, the sight of it almost feels like relief. The one true thing in a place built to deny it. As you draw near, you're certain of one thing. If you pray here, you will be answered. Prayer, a power waits within reach. Perhaps this is grace, meeting you in the dark. Perhaps not. So, I am pretty sure that praying to a gigantic red burning cross is your prayers are not going to be getting to the Almighty. Well, it is, but maybe not the God you're thinking of. So we're going to try and resist. You step back from the cross without praying. The promise lingers, but you do not give in to it. The shape is right, the feeling is not. You keep your own cross close and move on. Your faith deepens. As you leave, your gaze lifts and something about the room feels subtly wrong. Oh, and I can see you. Soul trap destroyed. And here's the 2 bells they were talking of. So 1, 2. And look at that, son. That's what I like to see. The inverted chapel. Should we let's continue this way. I'll come back to the inverted chapel. Because I'm keen to unlock each of the hubs. Oh, okay. That was odd. Ah, very clever game. Very clever. There was an infinite corridor. If I had kept running in that direction, I would have just been running forever. Ah, you mongrel. Yeah, those knights are pretty tough. Oh. Ooh. Okay, I am going to have to use my special skill here. These guys are pretty slow, so we're just going to do a bit of praying. Ouch. Perhaps there's a way to turn off this this damn fog. I haven't found it yet. Ooh. Okay, we're in the archives now. I am tempted to go back in here and see, because I don't know if we properly explored it, so I'm going to recharge my faith, and then we may head back in. Just because, even though it's pretty scary and dark in there, I'm sure there'll be something really cool we can use. Antechamber. Yeah, we didn't go this way. Just top up the old prayer bank. Everything here is, I think, is tapped out. We don't have anything. I thought maybe there would be a hidden area, maybe a switch or something that would turn off the fog, but apparently not. We found our way through though. And having a look here at the map, we've got a update to the map too. Apparently there's a mirror in this room somewhere. It seems like for a vampire hunter, we're very ghetto. Like our cross isn't even a gold cross. It's just made out of a bit of wood and string. We're the payless vampire hunter. Ow.
God of mercy, grant rest.
Behind me. There we go.
Father in heaven, keep the darkness outside me. Let me not cling to resentment, nor mistake.
I want to try and catch this guy by surprise and milk some health out of him. We're doing pretty well. We've got a fair supply of steaks now. But don't worry, you go through them real quick. A book draws your attention. For no clear reason, you open it to a random page. It's a detailed account from your childhood in seminary school. The stiffness of your collar, the heat, the boredom. There is a passage describing the moment you realized you could make the other boys laugh by mocking the nun under your breath. You don't remember anyone noticing. You close the book. Now, secrets in this game are life. If you can find the secrets, get all the upgrades, you're going to get a better ending. I haven't managed to get all of them. I often miss one or two. Because you have to have very close attention to detail. Okay, let's head around here. We'll head downstairs. Most of the library areas do have books and... Oop, I need to recharge my...
Lord Jesus Christ.
Ow, you mongrel.
Our Father in heaven.
There we go.
Lord, as my spirit weakens, do not abandon.
You've really got to watch your faith meter. It's very, very easy to dip through all your faith. And in enemy crowds, this thing's a mega weapon. It's fantastic. It'll freeze every enemy for about 3 seconds, long enough for you to net yourself 1 or 2 kills. And with you only being able to heal via using the executions, it's something you're definitely going to want to get in the habit of using. Come on, homie.
Michael the
Hey, you like that, son? Tearing through the archives. Okay, no. What I'm looking for at the moment is a secret switch to help me open up one of the doors. Not really having a whole lot of luck with that. Bit of a shame. Alright, homie, I need some health. At this point, these guys are just health potions. As long as I've got the faith in the pipe, I can just keep stunning them. Okay, there's not much else in here. There might be more on the upper floor. Okay, did I read this? Yes. Okay, so we've read this, checked these, came in from there. Yeah, here we go. This is where things start to get interesting because there's a bunch of different tomes in the library and they have secret switches in them. So if you can find all the tomes, you'll get a very nice chunk of change. Whoopsies. We have way too fewer spikes to be wasting on frivolous shots. I can't holster my gun though, so I asked God for a way through and I got nothing back, so I found my own. There's two bells up in the rafters. I put a stake. Well, we already read this. I dare not read these books. There's something wrong with them. I can feel it, and I will not invite that into myself. Still, the cross has shown me something. When it glows, certain books reveal themselves. They're not books at all, but hidden levers. I will leave the rest untouched. I will follow only what the light reveals. Surely I will be protected. Okay, so we need to check the books again with the light turned on. So again, our faith is tested. We'll come back here in a bit. I'm just curious if I use this on all of these books, will I see more secret switches? You've really got to watch out for our faith. It's very, very easy to use it up and then get into a fight where you need to use the secondary ability and then you don't have it. Praying will restore your faith very quickly, but for obvious reasons you don't want to be doing this in the middle of a boogaloo. I hear uninvited guests. A book draws your attention. For no clear reason, you open it. It's a record of confessions taken by priests. Every sin is written twice, once as it was confessed and once it was recorded officially. The second version is always softer and less precise. The difference is not subtle. You close the book. Interesting. Okay, these guys are pretty nasty, so I'm just gonna kill him the old-fashioned way. Yeah, any of the creatures that have elemental auras, like that guy, will just do damage by virtue of being close to you. Still though, I mean, this is one hell of a stake. Let's Strong enough to go through cast iron metal. Boomski. Your boy's tearing through the opposition tonight. I have torn through every chamber and passage in this cursed place. He must be here, and yet he slips through my grasp again and again. The books are no better. I have begun reading them, as they're big and as baffling as this castle. They speak of things that should not be possible, and still I cannot dismiss them. If we are made in his image, if we are chosen, why do I feel so utterly unequipped? Why am I so far out of my depth? I mean, that is a point. Every time you see, vampire hunters coming in, you pretty much just got a gun that shoots little wooden toothpicks. Granted, this gun definitely has a bit of growl behind it, but one of my favourite anime series is Hellsing. I love that because the character of Alucard in that is very, very engaging. And the whole, send a monster to catch a monster. That's mainly what got me into. I mean, I was never really huge into, games like or movies like Twilight. I always thought they were cringe. But I'll tell you one of the best gaming vampire games, Legacy of Kain. Man, that game was good. I never got to finish Defiance. I only played Legacy, Soul Reaver 1 and 2, and Blood Omen came out way before I had a console, so that was another one I never got to play. But yeah, if you ever want to play a really good game, and I believe there's remakes out for Soul Reaver and Legacy of Kain as well, so yeah, highly recommend. The voice acting in it is top notch. A book draws your attention. It's a collection of miracle accounts. Each one is followed by a calm explanation, misremembered details, coincidence, suggestion. The explanations are thorough and leave little room for doubt. There are no rebuttals. You close the book. So I'm guessing that the church also had its brand of skepticism. Nothing wrong with a healthy dose of skepticism, but in this case, maybe a bit of blind faith is what you need from time to time. Okay, there's a second mirror of the... Oh, hello. You were just chilling. You're just chilling out. Waiting for me. What you gonna do, homie? This is why I really like this game. The atmosphere, like it feels like a real haunted castle, Hey, like that, son? Don't even need a gun. Yeah, boy. Let's try it. If that book gets away, we'll lose our secret. So now we've got another secret in the main chamber. I'll get to that when I get to it, but for now, let's go in here. She did not recover. There was no sudden turn, no hidden mercy revealed at the last moment. Only a slow decline, drawn out until every hope felt misplaced. I continued to pray, even as it became clear that nothing was listening. I asked for justice or at least an answer. Neither came. What I was given instead wasn't time enough to see the truth of it. There's no fairness in suffering, no balance, no correction waiting behind it. If there's an order to the world, it's not one that concerns itself with what is deserved. So I guess, humanizing the vampire. I do love that, when you have a story where it's not just black and white, because cardboard cutout villains aren't too bad depending on what the story is, but it's very rare that you're going to find someone that's is like, you know, a mustache twirling, tired damsel in distress to the train track sort of character. And often, if they are, it's kind of due to laziness. So having bad guys with a bit of depth. I mean, some of the coolest games I've played are where you are a bad guy or an anti-hero. I mean, there's a game called based on the Divine Comedy called Dante's Inferno. And the reason why I liked that game so much was the main character is actually, I wouldn't say he's evil, but the character of Dante is a lot different to how he is imagined in the Divine Comedy. In this, he's a crusader in the Crusades, and he does a bunch of terrible stuff, and it comes back to haunt him. And this is a man of the cloth, a priest. The documents within the church abuse, misconduct, disappearances. Each one is followed by a short note describing how it was handled, reassigned, relocated, and quietly resolved. No one is ever named directly. The pattern is obvious. There's a lot of stuff that's starting to make my character question his faith. And yet, I'm kind of going the faith route here. And even though it's a short game, I am definitely going to go back and play it again and go for the evil route. Because I am very curious to see what happens if you go evil. Okay, you wanna play rough? Let's play rough. Okay, that's the hidden staircase I uncovered. Now, I do want to show you some other games tonight, but I think what I will do is I'm going to try and get to the second boss in the game, because it's actually a really inventive fight. I found his records, decades of them, careful notes, experiments, schemes, all laid out in meticulous detail. And yet there's something wrong. The same mistake appears again and again, repeated across the years as if he cannot see it. It should be obvious. It should have been corrected long ago. Then it struck me. He cannot see it. Vampires cast no reflection. So something useful to know. We need to look for a image in the library, an imperfect image. No, I can't get past here. Piles and piles of books. And I did try to see if you could burn the books, given that these books have a number of heretical teachings in them. Although I suppose there is some truth buried in here as well. But, yeah, you can't burn the books. Well, not all of them. Let's go and check out that mystery staircase I unlocked. But, I had a ton of fun playing this game. I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. I reckon the boss is coming up here. Here we have another soul trap. Halfway, baby. Bit of prep, light of fatty. Hey! Hit me in the back. I hate those knights. They're very hard to kill. I should have just shot them, but they're also very resistant to stakes. You can actually hit them in the head and they'll just knock their helmet off and do nothing. They kind of remind me of the enemies from Resident Evil 4. You know, the plagas inside the knight's armor? Except not as cool. These books, they detail things the church never spoke of. History's buried, ideas forbidden. Are they lies? They seem too plausible. If these are true, how much was kept from us? We were sent here to destroy this creature, and yet I stumble in the dark, grasping at things I do not understand. Why would he send us in blind? Does he not care? Is he even watching? Yeah, like I said, this game is way better than it deserves to be. I went in expecting this kind of, it'll be like an arena shooter, you just running around shooting vampires, and what I got was vastly, vastly different. And I mean that in the best possible way. It's fantastic. I love attention to detail in games. I love it when they don't take the easy route and they make the player work for it. And like I said, this is not an incredibly long game. You can finish this game. I mean, if you know what you were doing, some people claim you can speed run it in an hour. I don't know about that, but I reckon you could definitely do it in 2. If you knew everything, like I'm kind of powering through this now because I knew from my previous 2 attempts roughly where everything is. A great tome lies on the pedestal, letters rising from its pages and drifting in the air. As you near it, you understand what it holds. Not scripture, but knowledge beneath it. The kind the church never spoke of. The kind your enemy seems to have had all along. It will give you power. Whether it was ever meant for you, you cannot say. You could take it or leave it. We'll leave. You turn from it without difficulty. Whatever it holds, it was arranged to feel like something stolen from you and finally handed back. That alone is reason enough to distrust it. You leave the tome to its pedestal, your faith remains intact and stronger for it. Okay, well, I'm nearly back to the faith I had at the start of the game. I don't think you'll ever get there just quite, because you're constantly seeing things that test your faith. I've had my faith down below 40%, and that gets pretty hard, because then you've only got 1 charge for your cross. Doable, but not easy. Especially later on once the bigger and badder enemies start rocking up. Okay, nothing on the ground floor. Up we go. And we've got quite a few souls this time. This is a mistake I made in an earlier playthrough. Embedded stakes can be collected after combat. That means if you miss, you can go and pick up the stakes. And these are all nice and all, but given how rare ammo is in this game, this was actually an upgrade I should have got last time, and this time I will get. So this means I should be able to, if I was to fire and miss with a stake, to retrieve it. There's some extra faith. Let's go, baby. Killing enemies has a chance to restore ammunition. Health regenerates over time. I mean, this is really good, but regenerating health, that sounds... Ooh, they're both really good. I am going to say regenerate health. Just cause we're not really hurting for ammo right now. I have nearly 40 stakes on me. If I was really struggling for ammo, then maybe. A book draws your attention. It's a ledger of impure thoughts, all attributed to your mother in her 20s. Each entry is dated and described plainly with names you do not recognize and some you do. There's no commentary, just detail. You stop after a few pages and close the book. So there's definitely some sort of dark magic happening here, because how could this vampire know my entire history after I walked through the front door of the church? So yeah, something screwy is going on here. He's got a vendetta against me. I'm just wondering if there's anything on the roof I should be shooting at. Usually these... I'm curious. Yes, you can. I can pick up the stake again. Nice. All right. That was a worthwhile skill. As long as I don't fire a stake somewhere I can't get it back. We should... Yeah. I can get my stakes back. Savage. I'm done with these damned books. Lies and riddles, I will trust my own mind. The things in the next area cannot be harmed by normal weapons. I learned that the hard way. The blue flames, they bite them. Hold your stake in the fire until it catches, then strike. That is what brings them down. I did not need their nonsense to figure that out. Okay. So, what we need to do to kill these spectral enemies is we need to hit them with a burning stake. Okay, here's... And it's the blue flames, not the regular. The way below is swallowed in darkness, not just the absence of light, but something thicker. It presses in around you, and the longer I stood there, the worse my thoughts became. Not my thoughts, I think. They felt placed. I brought flame with me, and it changed things. The dark does not simply recede, it withdraws as if unwilling to touch it. Even a small fire is enough to hold it back. Carry the flame with you. Do not linger in the dark. Okay, good to know. I do love the soundtrack in this game too. It's very minimalist, but it works so well. Okay, I wanted to test whether I could kill him with the stake, or with the cross, but no. Now, unfortunately, what I've also found now is if I fire one of these stakes into an enemy and kill them, I don't get the stake back. It's only if I miss. Like that. But it's still a good skill to have, given how rare the ammo is. We can light that sconce, but a book draws your attention. It describes your actions in the castle with precise detail. The room you entered, the object you noticed, yet the hesitation before you moved on. As you read, a new line appears describing exactly what you're doing now. You close the book. I mean, I would take that book with me. That sounds like a really easy way to... A really easy way to destroy the vampire with the power of clairvoyance. Right in the back of the dome, son. How you like that? I was just trolling. I knew. Oh, we can grab stakes out of here. Nice. Thanks to that ability, we can take the used stakes from other hunters in the bowls. Definitely worth it, especially given how rare ammo is in this game. Yeehaw. Okay, let's poke around here. I think we got them all. I want to check out what's down there. Okay, I think that's it for this little corridor. We've gone around twice now. Let's get out of here and check out the next area. Yeah, I had a ton of fun playing this game, and I'm going to try and at least make it to the next boss before we move on to the next game. Just so I can show you, because it is a super fun game. I've really, really had a lot of fun playing this. I wonder, does regular fire work on these guys? Let's find out. It does not. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Hey, I like that. I wonder if I fire a... Ah, there we go. I want to swap it to blue fire. You can see how quickly you run out of ammo in this game. You got to really be careful. I was just shooting everything, and you definitely want to try and use the stake gun as a last resort. A book draws your attention. It's a list of names followed by a short note. Lost faith, gave in, turned back. Some entries describe the exact moment it happened. The last page only has one name written so far. It's not finished. Yeah, I wonder if that's my name. Let's continue on, shall we? One of the cool things in this game too is the light sources. You can see my my stake gun has a very light or a very faint light source. Ooh, I love it. Now, ammo's starting to get a little scarce here. Let's be careful. We can, of course, bust open some furniture, which I'm absolutely going to do. Out of faith again. Generally, most of the secrets in the library are from these secret books that you can press, but I think we may have got them all. Still, you can always count on a fireplace to have secrets. It's like they read the Castlevania handbook. Oh, you can knock their arm off. Nice. I'd remember that. Okay, so aim for the arm. You can take their sword arm off.
God of Grant rest to the dead, peace to the suffering, and protection to the innocent. Let this evil come to an end. Let deception be undone. Our Father in heaven,
Come on, homie. Come get some.
Saint Michael the
These guys, not these Nosferatu, seem to be very resistant or very weak against light. So makes them super easy to kill as long as I have a nice steady. Whey! Touche, sir. Touche. Scared the hell out of me. Where you scurried from? Let's head back here for a moment. Ah, here we have the first of the 4 fragments to get to the end of the game. Very nice, very nice. The mirror shard. This is the secret mirror, or the master mirror that will get us to the vampire. And I'm just going to have a bit of a look around before we head on out of here. Nothing, nothing. Oh, and it's that time of stream again. Let's greet our new visitor. Sorry, my friend. Not really. I'm sure there'll be more. There'll be more. There always are. Okay, let's head on out of here. And what we have to do to avoid being killed here is to give this eye a very bad case of cataracts. Unfortunately, that is not a... Oh, can I get it? Too high. I cannot. Ah, well. We just have to pray to get our faith back. Yeah, if you ever run out of faith and you're in the dark here, then you are absolutely boned. There is an upgrade later on that will double our prayer speed, which we're definitely going to be hitting up. And I think here we've got a boss. Oh no, we've gone the wrong way. Other way. Yeah, so we're already a quarter of the way through the game. Granted, I'm kind of taking my time as I bust on through, but you can, if you wanted to rush this one, you can get through it in a few hours. But like I said, it's definitely got a lot of charm to it, so I recommend not doing that. Let's go and have a look and see where we can go next. The archives. We're back again. Now we're heading out of here. No, I don't know if I want to do that. Oh. We definitely want to hit all of the crosses. We've gone the wrong way, haven't we? I'll find a mirror. I just wanted to get to the next boss because he's actually pretty inventive. But oh, there we go. I will say, let's go here. Yeah, Heretical Collection. Because there's a way I didn't go. Yeah, been this way. The archives. Yeah, this game's... I was really surprised by it. I was really enjoying it. And then I found that it's not really well known. Like, a lot of people haven't played a lot of it. And I haven't seen much of it on Steam. And it is... I will admit, it is probably a little bit on the expensive side. That's probably the only bad thing I can say. Like, it's not cheap. It's for like a budget game, it's about 18-20 bucks, but and being on the short side. But honestly, I think given that there's multiple routes through the game, and that you can play through this one a few times, it is worth the money. I mean, I've played budget shooters and paid more for less. So, oh, here we go. We definitely need to go this way. It's a transcript of a debate between a priest and something else. The priest argues carefully, citing doctrine. The responses are shorter and simpler, and always land cleanly. The priest begins to repeat himself. The other voice does not. So perhaps the priest is arguing with something more malevolent. Now, one of the things I was kind of disappointed in was the lack of different weaponry in this game. Oh, we nearly found all the soul traps here. I like the stake launcher, but I was kind of hoping we'd get some more stuff. Maybe like a revolver, a machine gun. I don't know how long I've been here, long enough that the work has lost its shape. What was once a plan became a series of adjustments, each made to accommodate something I cannot see. It's no ordinary estate. I was a fool to think it was. There are places in the structure that do not behave as they should, rooms that feel wrong, not in their size, but how they are experienced. I've come to understand what this place is. It's not a residence, it's a lair. I do not believe I will leave it. Well, you weren't wrong about that, my friends. If you're going to build a giant house full of, human sacrifices, I mean, I thought the giant burning crosses would clue you in that this is not something you should be involved in, but generally when I see a giant burning upside down cross, I head the other way. But what do I know? I mean, burning crosses in general are not something you want to have a good association with. I mean, even if it's not something vampiric, it could be a more mundane group out to get you. Okay, nothing there. I wonder if I've doubled back. I don't believe I have. Yeah, I was hoping to get to the next boss, but I think he might be a bit further away than what I thought. We'll get to the next checkpoint, and then I think we'll have to move on to the next game. But I mean, this is not an incredibly long game, so if you've seen what you've seen and you're still watching, then you're probably going to be interested in getting this game anyway. This is probably one I'll hit with a second. I'll do a second playthrough of it and get the rest of the game down. The game does save every time you reach one of these crosses and you correct it, so you won't lose any of your progress. Let's hit a mirror. See what we can find. Oh, hello. What have we here? Ah, this is it. This is it. This is what I was looking for. Beautiful. Boss is here. Finally. Okay. Now, this is Kino. Look how cool this looks. Excuse me, I need some health.
Saint Michael the Archangel, defend
This is it. I knew I could show you the boss. Let's do it. Yeah, all the games tonight are all kind of obscure games, but I don't mean that in a bad way. They're games that you may not have heard of. Very, very underground games. Kills restore faith, maximum faith, or stakes lit by default. That's not too bad. That kind of feels too easy. Melee kills restore faith. I mean, I can get faith back by praying. Increases maximum faith. That kind of sounds like the best one, so I'm going to go with that. Yeah, I've nearly got my faith back to full now. Let's go, baby. A leather-bound book on a lectern, a register of reservations. Each entry, a name, a date, a seat at the table. The date extends years forward. Your own name at the head of the table on tonight's page. And the next, and the next. There's no end date. Ominous. Oh, no, we've looped back to the start. Okay. I thought we were actually at the boss battle, but I think it's a bit further on. That's okay. I think it's probably a good spot to leave it here because we've looped all the way back to the start of the castle, so I would have to go for another round. And the next boss is a bit further off than I thought. What do I think of this game? Well, I think I've already said it. It's an incredibly immersive and very story-rich game that I initially wrote up to be a boomer shooter. You know, just run in, shoot some vampires, jump around, but I was very pleasantly surprised. I found myself immersed in the game. It is short. It is a game that you will finish in, you know, maybe 2 or 3 hours. But that being said, there is 2 separate routes to go through. And it is a game that is highly replayable, especially if you're a speedrunner. I can see speedrunners having a ball with this, trying to finish the game in under an hour. So for that alone, I think you're going to get your money out of it. But yeah, if you're going in expecting this just to be a a rock'em sock'em shoot 'em up, you may want to look elsewhere. But I actually think it worked really well. I'm very interested to see if the developer's doing anything else. I believe this is their first game, but if this is anything to go by, I think their future work's going to be excellent. But I've got some other games to get through, so we are going to move on to the next game.